it's Nikki, and I'm here today to do the Finally Fall book tag. I was tagged by Sam over at Sarcasm and Sci-Fi, and I will link her video down below as well as the original tag video by Tall Tales. And I am thankfully getting this in time. It's actually perfect for where I live because it is actually only just now starting to feel like fall weather. It's finally starting to be kind of chilly and fallish most days. We're still getting a couple random days of warm weather, but yeah. So the first prompt is, in fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. And for this one, I'm gonna go with The Hobbit. The Hobbit is one of my favorite books of all time, and Tolkien does just such a good job of being really descriptive. I know that a lot of people actually don't like his work because things are like he'll go off on tangents and just like spend several pages just describing this one like tree and the whole history of this tree, and then he'll go back to the plot and vividly super describe like that plot. But that's something that I personally love. I know it's a turn off for some people, but I just personally really like how incredibly descriptive and intense the world building is, and it's just a very like it's one of those books where I truly can really see where I am reading about in my mind. Prompt 2 is, nature is beautiful, but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written, but deals with a heavy topic such as loss or grief. I did some thinking on this one, and the book that I ended up going with, I was between two, but I ended up finding that the other book actually fits for a later prompt better. So my final choice was The Lottery Rose. It's been a couple years since I read this. I did read this back when I was in middle school. I don't remember if it was elementary or middle school when I read this, but I just remember it to be a very like beautiful and heart-wrenching book, and it deals with a lot of heavy topics, but it's just such a beautiful and gut-wrenching story that I thought it fit pretty well for this prompt. Number 3 is fall's back to school time, and it's to share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I had a couple that I was considering for this, but the one that I ended up settling on was between Pit and Pedestal, Women in the Middle Ages. I really like books that cover the everyday life of regular people in the past. I know there's a lot of history books and nonfiction books and documentaries that cover the lives of, you know, well-known historical figures, the rich, the powerful, kings, queens, leaders, all of that. But I personally really like to find sources, documentaries, books, movies, all that good stuff that covers the lives of everyday people, and that's what this book is. It is a book about women in the Middle Ages, things about their daily lives, weird rules that they had to adhere to, just various things such as that. Number 4 is, in order to keep warm, it's a good idea to spend time with the people that we love. Pick a fictional household or friend group or family that you'd really love to be part of. And for this one, I'm going to pick Nobody Owen's Family from the Graveyard book, all of the denizens of that graveyard, all the ghosts from that graveyard, as well as Silas. I love the Graveyard book. It was such a sweet story, and Nobody's adopted family is just so freaking cute and wholesome, and the love and how everybody just kind of comes together and adopts him and raises him, and his kind of upbringing is just, I want to be part of that family. I would just really love to be part of that family. I think it was just a really tight-knit group of people that kind of came together in order to help this little child, and the relationships that they have with each other. It just felt, you know, like the perfect found family, because a lot of the people in the graveyard, yes, there are people buried together that are already related, but even the people that aren't related, their interactions with each other, it's, you know, they have their little arguments and stuff like that, but they still all are there for each other and get along. Number 5 is, the colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored books. So I have gathered over here a pile of fall colored spines. Picked lots of reds and goldens and even a little bit of like dark woody kind of a color, because once the leaves have fallen off, that's kind of what's left on the trees. So this is my little pile of fall colored spines. Next is 6, and it's fall is the perfect time for storytelling. Share a book wherein someone is telling a story. And for this, I went with Hyperion by Dan Simmons because the entire book is people telling each other stories. So it seemed perfect. And 7 is The Nights Are Getting Darker. Share a dark and creepy read. And for this, I picked The Butterfly Garden. This book was really creepy and unsettling. I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't. If you are curious kind of my thoughts on why people didn't and what my personal take on that is, I will link my Goodreads review down below. You can check that out. I cover it in detail. I'm not going to rant about it on this video. But I personally just found it really unsettling and very, very creepy and definitely dark. Next are The Days Are Getting Colder. So it's to name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's day. This is also actually the one that I was also considering for something that was beautifully written but handled grief or loss really well. And that is The Cybernetic Tea Shop. This is a short story. It's just really sweet and heartwarming. I absolutely loved it. I talked about it in one of my wrap-ups very extensively, and I highly recommend it if you are looking for something that is short but very, very heartwarming and packs a lot of emotional punch within a short little tiny package. Number 9 is Fall Returns Every Year, and it's to name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. With this, I'm going to say Homeland by R. Salvatore. I love this book. I know Hobbit is definitely my favorite. I'm pretty sure this one ranks as my second favorite book of all time, and I would like to return to it soon, and I will be returning to it soon because it's in the 1988 year block for my Realms Reads project. So once I finish with 1987, which is the one that I'm currently working on now, I will be in the block where I get to read it again, and I'm really excited. Number 10 is Fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights, and it's to share your favorite cozy reading accessories. For me, that's definitely a big old blanket. I have a ton of blankets just like stationed throughout the house because I tend to get pretty cold pretty easily, and I just also find that they're really nice when I want to cozy up and read. I love to pile myself up in blankets. I just find that really comforting. Hot cup of tea or coffee is also another one. I love both tea and coffee, so hot cup of tea or coffee is definitely another reading accessory for me. Not really by my choice, but I guess you could also say my cats. My cats really like to just chill on top of me or near my feet whenever I read, so technically they are like always accompanying me when I'm reading, and I do find it kind of cozy and comforting that they're all snuggled up with me. I don't know if you'd really count that as a reading accessory, but they are something that when I'm all cozied up reading, especially in the cooler months, I definitely appreciate and I definitely have happening. And finally, number 11 is to spread the autumn appreciate and to tag some people. I am going to post a couple people that I tagged below, and as well, I will let them know on Twitter that I have tagged them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd super appreciate if you hit the like button, comment down below as well if you've read any of these books and what you think of them. You want to see future content from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and or evening. Good night, bookworms.